Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP and the Great Reset. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP and crypto, the Great Reset, AI, universal basic income, digital IDs. This is the third part of this series that I just did, and it started out as one XRP video, but I kind of got carried away with it because I haven't done a Great Reset video in a while, and a lot of people were asking me to do it over on X. So I started with one video and it turned into this. So the automation of AI and robotics will replace 75% of current jobs, leading to the emergence of new employment opportunities. Universal basic income will come into play when AI and robotics take over. You know, I said it before, Brad at Ripple is going to go towards AI next, because that's the fifth industrial revolution. Blockchain and crypto is the fourth industrial revolution, and they're going to merge together. And you know, they keep saying, don't worry, robots aren't going to take your job, but you already see it happening here and there. Wait until it's happening at a much bigger scale, and people have no choice but to take the UBI. Your way away from universal basic income is to enrich yourself off of your XRP. Now, this is Elon Musk speaks of mass unemployment and universal basic income. Take a listen.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better.
Okay.
What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job, machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I think that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen.
I think he knows this is what's going to happen, because you already see it happening at places like Amazon, and you're going to start to see it on a much bigger level, and it's going to be a worldwide event. This is going to happen in every single country around the world over time. Get America out of the World Economic Forum. Digital IDs can track the unvaccinated. AI can speed up development of new vaccines. Children's health defense. And this is exactly what the World Economic Forum is pushing for. They plan to use AI in so many different ways at the World Economic Forum, and not one of them is in a good way. It all leads to us becoming slaves at some point in the future. Why do we need elections? World Economic Forum Chairman Schwab declares voting will not be necessary because AI will predict the results. And they are pushing for that as well, because they want to control who is in charge in all the governments around the world. And you know, our governments are already working with the World Economic Forum as well. That's why you see it, especially in Canada and the US now as well. Look at our major cities. It's not hard to see. This is the Queen of the Netherlands. Let that sink in. Take a listen to this.
Why? Because in order to open an account, you need to have an ID.
Right.
And I have to say that when I started this job, there were actually very little countries in Africa or Latin America that had one ubiquitous type of ID, and certainly that it was digital, and certainly that it was biometric. And we've really worked with all our partners to actually help that being, to grow this. And the interesting part of it is that, you know, yes, it is very necessary for financial services, but not only.
So,
you know, it's also good for school enrollment. It's also good for health, who actually got a vaccination or not. It's very good to actually to get your subsidies, you know, from the government. So this has not only effect to the financial services. It's a very important issue.
You know, they're pushing for this digital ID because it'll allow them to control every aspect of your life. I always said a digital ID is even worse than a central bank digital currency. Digital ID is the line in the sand you must not cross. Cashless society can't be implemented unless digital ID is in place first. Digital ID is the line in the sand you must not cross, because it's going to be part of every aspect of your life. You see it right here. This is the plan. Healthcare. Think about it. All of a sudden you get hurt. You got to go and get healthcare, but your social credit score sucks. So they could deny you healthcare. Financial services. It could keep you from opening a bank account and carrying out transactions as well. Food and sustainability. They could cut off the food supply through this. Travel and mobility. Of course, they're going to use it to prevent you from traveling. Humanitarian response. To access services, to demonstrate qualifications to work in a foreign country. You know how many people work abroad today? So think about when they start to really push digital IDs. The first people that are going to sign up for this is anyone that works outside of their home country. E-commerce, to shop, to conduct business transactions. Social platforms. If they don't like what you're saying, they'll kick you off of social media. E-government, for citizens to access and use services, file taxes, vote, or collect benefits. They could shut off your universal basic income through your digital ID in the future. Telecommunications. For users to own and use devices, for service providers to monitor devices and data on the network. In other words, they'll track your cell phone as well. And you know, this is the worst part of it. I think this is because this is not going to be something you carry in your wallet, like your driver's license. This they want to put under your skin. Digital ID equals implantable microchips, either in the head or under the skin of your hand. That's their end game. The mark of the beast is coming. I played a clip recently on Joe Rogan's podcast where they were talking about the mark of the beast system. And even they were talking about that's what this is leading to. And that's why I'm never getting that chip. Individual carbon footprint tracker. Sounds like stuff of nightmares. Linked to your digital ID and a digital cashless currency. Take a listen.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
You better hope that they never make this into something, because when they could track your individual carbon footprint, that's when you will be buying carbon offsets and carbon credits. Remember how I talk about carbon credits? Ripple's going big in that direction. Hedera's going big in that direction. Every single one of these ISO blockchain companies are going in that direction because it's a multi-trillion-dollar market. Because every person will be paying for carbon offsets in the future. And they even said before at the World Economic Forum, the poor people will be given a certain amount of carbon credits, and the rich will be buying carbon credits from the poor so they can continue to travel in the future. WHO and the World Economic Forum. Director Tedros of World Health Organization discusses Disease X and the global pandemic accord. They failed to exert full control during COVID, so they're going to try again. This means restricted travel, lockdowns, mandatory vaccines, digital vaccine passports, mandatory masking, censorship of opposing science, loss of sovereign nation democracy. Create the problem, offer the solution, gain control. This disease X, I see it being talked about more and more now, all over X all of a sudden. And a lot of people are saying this is going to be the next black swan event inside of crypto. And they're also saying it could be that black swan where we all of a sudden have to all get digital IDs as well. You don't have to wake thousands of people up through social media. Speak to whoever you can about the dangers of CBDC, digital ID, and social credit system. If all of us do this, eventually half the country would be aware. But you must speak up before it's too late. Courage. I thought that was one of the greatest posts I ever seen, because I'm always talking to people outside of crypto about central bank digital currencies. They always right away, for some reason, think I'm talking about crypto. I must talk about crypto way too much, but I always try to wake them up. And most people don't even understand this in any way. They don't even know it's coming because they're all distracted. Even the people in the crypto space, they're so distracted by those Bitcoin ETFs that they don't see what's really going on. And like I said in multiple videos, those Bitcoin ETFs are also going to become tokenized, and they're going to end up on the Stellar blockchain. And they're going to end up on the XRP ledger, and they're going to end up on other chains as well. And you know what, the value, most of that value is going to end up in the cryptocurrencies that we hold, because any value that comes onto these networks is what's going to add value to these cryptocurrencies. And yet the same people that are pushing all these Bitcoin maxis that are pushing that, people need to look at the much bigger picture, because this is what's actually coming. And you already see it building out all around the world. You know, they're already starting in third world countries with the digital IDs. They're also, because it's easier and they could test it out there before they implement it in somewhere like the United States. It's the same thing with 15-minute cities. They're gradually getting built out while people are distracted. All of a sudden, the same way that you go to work today, all of a sudden you got to go in a different direction because they're changing the landscape of the city. Before you know it, we will have 15-minute cities as well. And people won't even know it happened until it's already complete. Same thing with this. But central bank digital currencies are coming. I don't know if we'll see one here in the United States, especially if this administration changes. But I want to keep you awake to what's going on. Hold on to your XRP for dear life and enrich yourself before all of this happens. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.